to answer that question?
Yes.
How do you want me to answer that question?
In fact, it was the Muslims that protected the Jews throughout history.
Except for the Muslims in SS. He didn't know that.
Listen,
Except
I
for
think
the
you should
Mufti
go
of
back
Jerusalem,
to school. You should go back
who
to
had
school.
tea parties with Hitler.
Tea
Go
party.
back to
But he
school.
didn't mention that either.
Naughty, naughty.
Let's look.
It was not the Muslims that
Let's
killed
look.
6 million Jews. It was not the Muslims
was
that
not
killed
Christians either.
100,000 in Nagasaki.
It was
Hiroshima.
Nazis.
It was not Muslims.
Neo-pagans.
20 million.
Do you want to take back your lie that Christians are not persecuted in Egypt? Do you want to take back your lie?
Christians are very happy in Egypt.
Christians are very happy in
Like the
Egypt.
Jews are happy in Morocco.
So let me
Did you know that
read
there's one-
another
Did you know
example.
there's 1 million Jews living in
On
Morocco?
April the
What
9th,
about 1 million Jews that live in
which
Morocco?
was Palm
1
Sunday
million Jews
and the
living
start of
in
Holy
Morocco.
Week, two
1
Egyptian
million
Coptic
Jews
churches
living in
became a
Morocco.
target of
1
terrorists.
million Jews
At
living.
least
Answer me.
27
Why
people
don't
were
you
killed
answer me?
in the
Answer me,
explosion
brother.
at St. George's
Answer me.
Coptic Church
Answer
in
me.
Tanta, and 17 people lost their lives in St. Mark's Coptic Church in Alexandria.
The IRA was killing people. Extremists are everywhere. Listen, terrorists are everywhere.
So show me the
Terrorists
verse.
everywhere.
Show me the news
Listen,
story
tell me something.
where the IRA bombed a church.
Yeah, show me.
Show us the story
Listen.
where the IRA bombed a church.
So you defend
Show
the
us
IRA.
the story
You defend
where the IRA bombed
that
a
killed
church.
civilians. That right in here.
I condemn
bombed
the
civilians.
IRA.
Right in here.
Now you
Civilian.
condemn
You
the
are happy
persecution
with
of
the
Egypt.
IRA.
You
I'm
condemn
against all
the
sorts of
persecution
terrorism. I
of Christians
don't
in
condone
Egypt.
terrorism. But let me tell
Condemn
you
the
something.
persecution
Listen, let me tell you,
of
of course,
Christians in Egypt.
Anywhere.
No,
Muslims,
in Egypt.
Christians,
Condemn
and
it
Jews.
in Egypt.
Listen.
Condemn it in Egypt.
Listen, of course I condemn anything.
So
that-
therefore, if he
Anything.
condemns it,
Anything.
he admits that it happens.
That's not Muslim. That's not
Oh,
Islam.
it's not
terrorist
Muslim.
groups.
It's not
Groups,
Islam.
Just like the IRA. Oh, is the IRA Christian then?
It's not Muslim.
Is IRA
It's not
doing it
Islam.
in the Christian name? In Christian name of Christianity?
No.
Was IRA representing Christianity?
No.
Thank you very much.
Do
So,
the
any-
Muslims
hold
go
on a
into
minute.
mosques and blow them up
Hold on, hold on.
saying
hold on.
Allahu
Hold on a
Akbar?
minute. Who
Do they go
What about
into
1
into
million
churches
Iraqi?
killing
1
Christians,
million, the invasion of
saying
the
that there's
invasion of
no
Iraq
God but Allah and
1
Muhammad
million.
is his
What
slogan
about 1
prophet?
million? 1 million Iraqis that died
You're just ignoring
in
it,
the
aren't
Gulf
you?
War. What about 1 million?
You're an apologist
Answer
for
me,
persecution.
Answer me. 1 million
You're an
Iraqis
apologist
that
for
died
persecution.
in the Iraq War. He does no answer. He has no answer for crimes against humanity committed in Iraq.
He
1
said,
million Iraqis.
he said,
Have you got an answer?
I
Have you got an
condemn
answer?
it.
Ah,
I
you
condemn the invasion of Iraq.
You condemned 1 million.
I have condemned the invasion of Iraq.
Of course, you have to.
It was
Thank
an
you.
unjust war.
Thank you. That's it.
But here's the
Thank
difference.
you.
I didn't start by
Thank you.
lying.
Thank you very much.
He started by lying,
I'm
remember?
not lying, brother.
We have you on camera.
Listen.
You literally said on camera, Christians are not persecuted
They're
in
not.
Egypt.
That's-
And he's lied again.
That's isolated.
Who heard him condemn?
Isolated incident. Just like the
Who heard him condemn it?
Listen, you don't condemn Irish people
So,
because the
ladies
IRA
and
was
gentlemen,
bombing innocent.
He said that it had nothing to do with Islam.
Even Biden said.
Let's quote his
Biden
prophet.
said Hamas does not represent
Let's
Palestinians.
quote his prophet.
Biden said Hamas does not
Let's
represent
quote
Palestinians.
his
How about
prophet.
that? How about that?
Let's
How
quote
about
his
that?
prophet.
Did you know? Did you know
Let's
that there's
quote his
1
prophet.
million Jews living in Morocco?
I have been commanded to fight
Did you know
against
that?
the people
Where did the Jews-
until they
Where did the
testify
Jews gone from
that there is
Spain
no
to
God but Allah and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah,
In
and they
Spain.
establish prayer and pay zakat. If they do it, their blood and property are guaranteed protection on my behalf,
That's been
except
later.
when justified
That's been
by
later,
law
brother.
and their affairs
been later.
rest with Allah.
Listen.
So is that
Listen,
Muhammad's
hold
word
on a
no
minute.
longer relevant?
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Answer that question.
Jews and Christians
Is it no
protected
longer relevant?
By
Is
the
it
Muslim
no longer
religion.
relevant?
Hold on. Can I
Not
finish?
protected,
Can I finish?
persecuted.
Are you going to let me speak?
Don't
Are
believe
you
the
going to let
lies
me speak?
of propagandists.
See, that's
Go and
reality. They
speak
don't
to
let you speak.
Egyptian Christians.
They don't want to listen to you.
If you want to do
It's a
this time, would you
one-way
like to do
system.
this time?
It's a one-way system.
Would you like to do
They
this
don't
time?
want to hear.
At what point has he
just
not
condemned
been
the killing of
shouting,
1
ladies and
million
gentlemen?
Iraqis. He just condemned.
When has he not been
an unjust
shouting, ladies
war
and gentlemen?
That caused 1
He
million
wants
Iraqis.
us to be his
just condemned
dhimmi,
that.
and he
just condemned
thinks
that.
that we should not challenge his lies. Would you like to do
Hold on
this
a minute.
time?
Can I tell
Would
you
you like to
something?
do this
Hold on a
time?
minute, hold
I'm
on a
giving
minute.
you an
Can
offer.
I
Would
can
you
I
like
speak?
to do this
Can I
time?
speak?
Well,
Are you
listen.
gonna let me speak?
You have not
Is it
let
a
me
one-way
speak.
system?
You have not
No,
let me
you
speak.
You didn't listen to me.
You have not let me speak.
Oh, you didn't listen to me,
Would
bro.
you like to do this
Can
time?
I tell you one thing?
I'm going to
let
let
me
you
tell you
speak,
one historical
and
fact.
then I will reply
1
with
second,
one
please.
thing. Okay, we'll
Let me
reply
tell you something.
1-1.
In Moorish Spain, Muslim Spain, 700-800 years ago, when Isabella and Ferdinand persecuted and kicked out the Muslims and the Jews, where did they go to? Where did the Jews went? Where did they go? Where did they go? They went to Morocco. They went to Algeria, Tunisia, and some of them went to Turkey because they know that the Muslim religion protects their right to live a decent life. Up to today, 1 million Moroccans still living in Morocco. In Egypt, 10 million Christians live for centuries. Yes, this is really. I'm not talking about isolated incident. Just like isolated
Wait, that was one thing.
incident
Can I
caused by
reply?
the IRA when they
Can I
killed
reply?
innocent lives in
Let me
London,
reply.
right in this place.
Let me reply.
Right in this place.
Let me
It
reply.
was not. I finished. It was not. 1 second. It was not the Muslims that murdered 6 million Jews.
Can I reply now?
It's not the Muslims that killed
Can I reply now?
100,000.
Okay, let me reply.
bombing Nagasaki,
Let me
Hiroshima.
reply. Okay, let me reply. Ladies and gentlemen,
Shut up, look.
no, wait, bro. Let me reply. Don't let me reply. Let me reply. So here's another example of how Dawa Gandhi sly in the park. Here is the historical account of Solomon Cohen, dated 1148. Abd al-Mumin, the leader of the Almohad Muslims, after the death of Muhammad ibn Tumat, the Mahdi, captured Temleken in the Maghreb and killed all those who were in it, including the Jews, except those who embraced Islam. Now notice he's interrupting. Notice he's interrupting. Notice he's interrupting. So now I will interrupt whenever I want. I will interrupt whenever I want, and he'll complain when I do. Ladies and gentlemen, Muhammad said that he wishes to cleanse the Arabian Peninsula of all its Jews and Christians until none remain but the Muslims. That's what Muhammad said. So let's be clear. He quoted rightly the bad example of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. So in other words, Muhammad is only as good as a bad Catholic. Now notice he's interrupting. Notice he's interrupting. So he can't complain when I interrupt him. I haven't finished yet. I have not finished yet. Let me challenge him. Find me the words of Jesus Christ in the New Testament that justify the killing, the rape, the murder of non-Christians. I challenge you to find me that verse in the New Testament. But ladies and gentlemen, I quoted earlier the words of Muhammad captured in the Muslim hadiths that say that Muhammad has been commanded to fight the unbeliever. Muslims believe that Muhammad is their best example. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, Hamas is committed to the destruction of the Jews, because their religion teaches them. Now notice he's interrupting, so I will just interrupt whenever I want, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to interrupt whenever I want, because he interrupts and he thinks that I need to be his dhimmi. I've got news for him. I'm not his dhimmi. And the more he interrupts, the more I'm going to talk until he is quiet for a few minutes, and then he can speak. If he wants to have a 3-minute debate, I'm willing to agree. So he will have 3 minutes uninterrupted, and I will have 3 minutes uninterrupted. Would you like to do that? Would you like to do that? There's the offer, it's on the table. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear. Islam is not an ideology that we need to tolerate. Islam is not an ideology that we should give room to.
Have you traveled ever?
It stands
you
for
ever
things
traveled the world?
that any decent
you ever
person
traveled throughout
are
the world?
against.
Have you
And as
traveled?
Christians,
Have you traveled?
we are
Have
committed
you traveled to see
to the
for
cause of
yourself how the
justice,
Jews and Christians are
and that
living
means
amongst
as
Muslims?
Christians, we
Have
are
you?
committed to standing against
Have you
Islam.
ever? Which country have you been to?
Thank you very much.
Which country have you been
That's
to?
very nice.
Are you willing to answer me? Which country
Would
have
you
been
like
to?
to do 3
This
minutes?
guy
3
never
minutes.
traveled to any country in the world. He does not. If you travel to the Muslim world, you see
I've
Christians,
travelled to
Jews
22
from-
countries.
Okay, tell me, have you been to Morocco? Hold on.
Yes!
Have you been to Morocco?
Yes, I've been to Morocco.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I've been to
Been to
Morocco.
Tell me. Go, tell me.
Here's
How
what I
many?
learned in Morocco.
Okay, Morocco, go
Here's
on.
what I learned in Morocco.
Okay.
The first thing I learned in Morocco is that Muslims don't like Islam very much. That's the first thing I learned in Morocco. The second thing I learned in Morocco is that as a Christian I wasn't welcome. Because as I was walking down the street in Morocco, near to a mosque with my wooden cross on
many times
display,
you traveled to Morocco?
I was harassed in the street by a Muslim
That is
who
a lie.
screamed and ranted
That is
at
a
me
lie.
in Arabic.
You know what? I
And
have
then
some
another
respect for you up to
Muslim
now.
called me over
I
to
have
the
some
shop
respect for you up to
and
now.
he said
Anybody been
that
to
the
Morocco,
reason
guys?
why I was being
Anybody been to
harangued-
Morocco, please?
Yes.
Have you been to Morocco?
Here's another
Have you
thing
seen any-
I learned
any
in
mis-
Morocco
Hold on,
is
hold
that
on.
Christians
Hold on. Have you been to
have to
Morocco?
hide their
You
faith
don't wanna listen.
in Morocco if they are Moroccan. That's what I learned in Morocco.
He's the guy from Morocco, yeah. He's been to Morocco. Have you seen anything of what he's been saying? Have you seen any persecution?
Usually, a Moroccan citizen is not allowed in the church. The police will stop it.
Okay.
There you
Have
go.
seen any Christian
So even
persecution?
the Christians,
Hold on. Have you
yes,
seen any
Christian
persecution?
Moroccans can't go to church.
Hold on.
Right now, Christians have been warned. Be careful. Do not go out.
Go on.
Be careful.
Keep going, bro.
I was in
Keep,
Morocco
bro.
yesterday.
Keep going. Keep going. Say what you gotta say.
If you
Oh my God,
be
you are
careful,
unbelievable.
because
You
people
are
that get
unbelievable.
angry and beat you
Morocco
up,
is one of the most
be careful.
peaceful.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Christians and
He
Jews.
went to him, and even he corrected him.
Wait, have you been to Morocco, brother?
But there you go. He's just looking for anyone who'll support his argument. He's just looking
He's
for
part of
anyone.
you. He's part of
Oh,
Yes,
so that
yeah,
means
he's-
that
all
he's
of you,
invalid.
all of you.
He gave a
All of you,
witness
all
that
of you.
Christians are
You are
persecuted in
nothing but a bunch
Morocco.
of ignorance.
But anyone who contradicts his lies must be lying.
I've traveled the world. I've traveled the world.
Oh,
I've been to 35
I've travelled the
countries.
world, so
I've
that
traveled
means
the world.
it must be
About
true
70 cities
that
and
Christians
35
are not
countries.
persecuted in the Muslim
no
world.
way, no way,
No way.
no way.
We read stories from Egypt. We have direct testimony from Morocco. Twice, 2 witnesses, and he still lies about it because that is what Islamists do. They lie and obfuscate about the persecution of Christians. We need to have a society that will deport people like this. We should not grant citizenship to people like this. We should not allow them to stand for election. We should not allow them to stop businesses.
I am citizen of the
We
world.
should reject them from our country because these people are a danger to Christians in our country. Ladies and
This is
gentlemen,
the future of this country.
we must make a choice.
If people like
Do we
you,
stand up to the Islamists or are we bullied by the Islamists? Do we pass laws to deal with the Islamists or do we let them pass laws to deal with us?
you're nothing but an
That
extremist.
is the choice
You're
that
nothing but
we
an
face.
extremist, racist.
No, ladies and gentlemen.
That, and ignorant. You're nothing
Let
but
me ask you
ignorant.
this question.
You're nothing but
Christians, does the Bible command you to uphold justice? Yes. Is it just to allow an Islamist to persecute a Christian? Or anyone else? Or own a slave? Or marry a child? Or kill those who wish to become Christians? No.
What about the
So
slaughter of
are you
Muslims?
instructed
slaughter of
by
Muslims
the
in
Christian
Bosnia, in
faith
Bosnia.
to resist
Slaughter of
Islamization?
Muslims by
Should you
Serbians.
do it politically? Should you do it legally? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Christianity does not call you to apathy. It calls you to activism, ladies and gentlemen. Work within the law and use the fullness of the law to resist people like this who you've heard on camera lie and lie and lie again about the plight of Christians. Thank you. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? So, let me just point something out. Let me just speak something that I didn't get chance to read out to you. Here is Ibn Kathir's commentary on Surah 9:29. Ibn Kathir. Listen to what Ibn Kathir says. Allah commands his messenger to fight the people of the scripture. Who's the people of the scripture? Us, Christians and Jews. So Allah has commanded Muhammad to fight the Christians and Jews. Jews and Christians is what Ibn Kathir says. On the 9th year of Hijrah, and he prepared his army to fight the Romans. Did the Romans control the Arabian Peninsula? No. But Muhammad is about to attack the Romans. Goes on. And he called the people to jihad, announcing his intent and destination. Here's what Ibn Juzai says. The verse is commanding to fight the people of the book because they claim Allah has a son. So Jazia interprets 9:29 that Muhammad is commanded to fight Christians because they believe Jesus is the Son of God. This is Muslim commentary, not my commentary. These are well-known names amongst the Muslims.
Here we go, another one.
Christians, you need to wake up. Let me read. Let me read. Tasfiyah by Al-Sadi. It says the point of this fighting is so non-Muslims turn over their wealth that is given in return for Muslims not fighting them.
Christian crusade.
That's
22
the
million died. 22
Jizya.
million. Yeah.
Jizya.
The Mau Mau.
Here's a
Kenya.
man that doesn't know history.
Christian crusade
Here's
in
a
Iraq.
man
In Iraq.
that doesn't
in
know
the name of the
history.
Bible they went in. How many millions did you
There
kill
weren't
children?
even
How many millions did you
22
kill?
million
How many
people
million?
in the Middle
Yeah,
East
so
during
hang
the
on, hang on.
Crusades.
Yeah, go. Do you want to
There
bet?
weren't even
Here.
22 million
So I'll read it to
people
you.
in the
This is what
Middle
your book
East.
says. This is what your book says, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is what your book says.
ladies and gentlemen, would you like to have a conversation where we
Let me show
time
you.
it?
Let me show you.
Ladies and
Let me show
gentlemen,
you.
right, listen, let's go on. This is Tasfir al-Sadi. Fighting them and allowing them to stay amongst the Muslims, granting them safety for their lives and property. That's the jizya tax. We fight them so they give us their wealth in exchange for us not fighting them. That's Muslim commentary on 9:29. Christians, should you be passive in the force, in the presence of such hatred? Should you be apathetic in the presence of such hatred? No. Then organize yourselves. Unite, mobilize, train and resist. Work within the law and use the fullness of the law. Do not be apathetic about an ideology that wishes to turn you into second-class citizens.
Where do you think welfare came from? Answer
Ladies
that.
and gentlemen.
Where does welfare come from?
Welfare
Where did welfare come from?
comes from
The Muslims.
Christians.
The Muslims.
Christians.
The Muslims.
Comes from the church.
Muslims. Church.
The
Why-
welfare state
Muslims.
was established
Yeah,
by
Muslims.
Christians like William Temple.
Right, okay.
Go and look up the
Go and look
names.
at. Go and look in the British.
Go and look at
Who's
the
the
names like Bevan.
Go in the British Museum and find out.
These were
Go.
Christian socialists.
Go to the museum and
And
find
they
out.
were the ones
Library, the British
who
Library, sorry.
established the welfare state
Nah.
in the United Kingdom.
No.
Ladies and
In the
gentlemen,
United Kingdom, but where did you
the
start
United Kingdom
Where did you start
has
from?
redistributed the
Where did you
taxes
start from?
of up to 40%.
Where did you start from?
Which is why so
asking
many
you.
Muslims prefer to live here
Really?
than in the Muslim
I'll
world,
tell you why I'm here.
because
These
redistributed
motherfuckers
taxes
came to my land,
in Islam
stole and pillaged
are
what I
only
had,
2.5%.
so I'm here to take back what you took from me.
and so
That's why
most
I'm here.
Muslims
Yeah.
in the Muslim world are living in poverty,
No.
whilst their leaders
Really?
live in riches.
Right.
Because their leaders are only committed to giving 2.5% in
Is
redistributed
that so?
tax.
Is that so?
But the United Kingdom and Western Europe, influenced by Christian
Hang
values,
on. Where did
gives
this
up
country?
to 40%.
Where did this country get its wealth
and that's
from?
why
Where did Britain get its wealth
people,
from?
Christians,
Exactly. Thank you.
Christians,
Africa,
Christians.
India, Asia. Britain was a thief of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, it was.
ladies and
Ladies
gentlemen,
and gentlemen, let's speak facts. Britain was made from other countries, the wealth of other countries. He's talking.
I'm not a
shit.
British
He's
nationalist, and I am happy
Yeah,
to say
their own-
that the British
their
were
own-
wrong
their own
for
India-
stealing the other
their own
wealth of
India,
other people.
44
I'm happy
trillion
to say that.
pounds.
I'm not a British
Their own
nationalist.
India, 44
But
trillion
notice,
pounds.
does he condemn the Muslims for stealing the wealth of Armenian Christians? Does he condemn the
Yes.
Muslims
Yes, I do.
for stealing
Yes.
Romanian
Yes.
Christians'
Yes.
wealth,
Yes, I
or
do.
Greek
Yes, I do.
Christian wealth,
Yes, I
or
do.
Syrian
Yes, I
Christian
do.
wealth,
Yes,
or
I do.
Egyptian Christian
Yes,
wealth,
listen.
or
Yes, I
Sudanese
do.
Christian wealth?
Yes, I
Good,
do.
good.
Yes, I do.
Good. So he condemns the
condemn what your country's done
teaching
then?
of Ibn
Do you
Kathir.
condemn what he's done?
He condemns
Do you
the
condemn- do you
teaching
condemn
of
what Ibn
Juzai. He condemns the teaching of
Do
Sayuti.
you condemn? Do you condemn what Britain
I'm
done?
not British nationalist.
I'm
Yes,
just saying,
I'm
you
happy
condemn.
to. Yes.
Okay, cool, good.
Yes. The British were wrong
This has got
for
nothing to do
stealing
with
the
religion.
wealth of others.
This has got nothing to do with-
Why?
What does Muslim
Because
mean?
the Bible says stealing is wrong.
And so there's every
But the
other book.
Quran says stealing the wealth of Christians
me.
and Jews
Show me.
is okay.
Show me.
Now he wants
Show
me
me.
to show
Show
you.
me. What Quran is that?
You
First? Show me.
see, if he'd bothered
What
to
ayah?
listen,
What ayah?
he would have realised I've done this already.
I wasn't here.
You were here.
wasn't.
You were.
I wasn't.
Who
You just-
saw him here when
I
I was
wasn't
showing
here.
it? Did you see him here when I was showing it?
That's the Quran.
Right,
yeah?
yes,
That's
it's a
the
Quran. So let me show you. Let me show
What
you.
paragraph, what hadith?
Wait, I'm going to show you.
What surah?
I'm going to show you,
Show me,
bro.
show me. Show me.
Surah 9:29. Right? Whilst you're finding that verse, let's just do this again, because he wasn't listening the first time. Surah 9:29. I am reading the commentary of Muslims. Ibn Kathir, Ibn Juzay.
No,
This is
no,
what they say.
No. See,
Taqiyya
he's not reading the
Fried
Quran. He's not preaching the Quran.
Listen,
He ain't
this
preaching
is
the
their
Quran.
commentary.
He ain't preaching the Quran. He's
Taqiyya
not. He's not
Sadi
preaching the
says,
Quran. He's-
this
I'm
verse
talking shit.
929
He's not preaching the Quran.
says the
That's
point
not in
of
the
this
Quran.
fighting
That's not in the
is
Quran.
so non-Muslims
That's
turn
not
over
in
their
the Quran.
wealth that is given in return for Muslims not fighting them
Bro,
and allowing them to
That's not
stay
Quran.
amongst the
He's
Muslims.
got a little white, yellow page.
Go
with
and
a
check
paragraph on it. Look,
whether
look,
Al-Sadi
look,
says
look,
that.
Look.
Have you got another
I've
one?
checked, I've checked.
What's, have you got a Taqiyya? Yeah, ladies. Sayyid ibn Musayyab, As-Sayuti, Zamakshati, Ibn Kathir all teach that Surah 929 is about fighting Christians for being Christians and extracting jizya from them in exchange for their lives. That is not me speaking. That's classical Muslim commentators speaking. And the Muslims can't take it. And their
He ain't
allies
reading the Quran.
can't take it.
He ain't reading the Quran. It's not in there.
Right.
He's
So
not
let me
reading the
read what the Quran
People,
says.
Let me tell you. What he just
Let
said,
me read the Quran.
Surah 9, 22, 29, what he said.
All that forbidden which has
So
been
does that say Jews
forbidden
and Christians?
by Allah
Does that
and
say Jews and
acknowledge
Christians?
his
No.
messenger, nor acknowledge the religion
No.
of truth from among the people of the book.
Right.
Who's the people of the book?
The Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews.
There you go, Jews and Christians.
Yes. It doesn't say
Jews and Christians. Jews and Christians. So he admits that it is in there, right?
Exactly.
But then what does the verse go on to say?
One God, not
What does the verse go on to say? Don't let him change the subject. Notice how he's trying to change the subject. Notice how he's trying to change the subject. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stay on this topic. Let's stay on the topic. What else does this verse of the Quran say? It says this: until they pay the jizya. The jizya, the jizya, ladies and gentlemen, according to Taqiyya al-Sadi, says that this fighting is so non-Muslims turn over their wealth that is given in return for Muslims. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, why as Christians should we ignore this incitement to hatred against the Holy Church? Our brothers and sisters around the entire world are suffering because of how Muslims read this verse. Don't believe these Dawagandist liars. Don't believe their propaganda.
Listen, it's not even in the Quran.
Instead, ladies and gentlemen, don't take my word for it. Go and visit the churches of Egyptian Christians. Go and visit the churches of Syrian Christians. Go and visit the churches of Armenian Christians. Go and visit the churches of Iraqi Christians. Right? Relax, everybody. Bro. Dude, guys, calm down.
Don't be a bad man. Don't be a bad man. You're a bad man.
I said, why are you blowing it in my face?
You're blowing it in people's face. They don't want it. You're blowing it in people's face. Don't blow smoke in people's face. Don't blow in people's face. No one's your dimmy, bro. No one's your dimmy. Just take a step back, bro. Don't blow in people's. Don't do it.
All right, look, here we go again. Here we go again.
What are you doing, bro?
Again.
Bro,
Yeah?
you're coming with the aggravation.
All right.
You're coming with the aggravation. No one's your dimmy.
Yes, come again.
No one's your dimmy. Relax.
You don't need to do that.
Go away.
Yes?
You don't need to
All right.
behave like that. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly how Christians will be treated. They are showing you in microcosm how we will be treated. Wake up, you're seeing the example with your own eyes. Wake up, you are seeing how they behave. You are seeing how they behave. You must, ladies and gentlemen, open your eyes. The liberal media is lying to you. Your left-wing celebrities are lying to you. Turn off the BBC. Turn off CNN and look with your own eyes at how Christians are being treated. At how Christians are being persecuted. Don't go to the mosque to ask about these verses. Go to the Christian churches and ask how they have experienced these verses, ladies and gentlemen.
The Christian churches are going. Halas.
Now noted, the triggered apologist is back. I'm a bigot, he says. Why am I a bigot? Why? Because I say that Christians should not be treated as second-class citizens in Sharia law. Does that make me a bigot? No.
What about in a synagogue?
Does it? Am I a bigot because I say that Christians should stand up for one another? Does that make me a bigot?